سے گرا خون اللہ سے قلب جگائے گا سدا رہتی نہیں جوانی یہ تو دنیا ہے فانی سدا رہتی نہیں جوانی یہ تو دنیا ہے فانی ساری دنیا کو کلمہ پڑھائے گا لا الہ کی بولی بول الا اللہ سے گرا خون اللہ سے قلب جگائے گا لا الہ کی بولی بول الا اللہ سے گرا خون اللہ سے قلب جگائے گا دنیا کے دھندے چھوڑ رب سے تو ناتا جوڑ دنیا کے دھندے چھوڑ رب سے تو ناتا جوڑ ہونٹوں پہ اللہ اللہ دل میں چھپا ہے چور ہونٹوں پہ اللہ اللہ دل میں چھپا ہے چور ایسی باتیں نہیں کر سن ذرا او بے خبر ایسی باتیں نہیں کر سن ذرا او بے خبر سچ بات ہے جو سب کو سنائے گا لا الہ کی بولی بول الا اللہ سے گرا خون لا الہ کی بولی بول الا اللہ سے گرا خون اللہ سے قلب جگائے گا سدا رہتی نہیں جوانی یہ تو دنیا ہے فانی سدا رہتی نہیں جوانی یہ تو دنیا ہے فانی ساری دنیا کو کلمہ پڑھائے گا لا الہ کی بولی بول الا اللہ سے گرا خون اللہ سے قلب جگائے گا لا الہ کی से कल्ब जगाएगा। शरारती जवानी ये तो दुनिया है फानी, शरारती जवानी ये तो दुनिया है फानी, सारी दुनिया को कलेमा पढ़ाएगा। ला इलाहा की बोली बोल, इल्लल्लाह से गिला खोल, अल्लाह से कल्ब जगाएगा। ला इलाहा की बोली बोल, इल्लल्लाह से गिला खोल, अल्लाह से कल्ब जगाएगा।
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانهر إن شانئك هو الأبتر. صدق الله العظيم. I'm Fatima. I'm Hassan. This is Salaam BCR, medium wave 1566. Our local radio.
Your local radio.
Get involved.
Details on our website.
www.project29.org.uk.
बरी और गिरदोनवा में इशा की अजान का वक्त हुआ जाता है। दूसरे इलाकों में रहने वाले अपने अपने मकामी वक्त के मुताबिक नमाज अदा करें।
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت سيدنا محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة والدرجة الرفيعة وابعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته وارزقنا شفاعته يوم القيامة إنك لا تخلف الميعاد.
ऐ अल्लाह, इस दावत कामिल और ता क़यामत कायम होने वाली नमाज के रब, तू मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम को जन्नत में नुमाया मकाम, फजीलत और बुलंद दर्जा अता फरमा और उन्हें उस मकाम महमूद पर फाइज फरमा जिसका तूने उनसे वादा फरमाया है, और क़यामत के दिन हमें उनकी शिफात नसीब फरमा। बेशक तू वादे के खिलाफ नहीं फरमाता।
अगर आप ये अजान स्पॉन्सर करना चाहते हैं तो इंतजामिया से आज ही राब्ता करें।
السلام عليكم عليكم يا السلام عليكم عليكم يا السلام عليكم عليكم يا السلام عليكم عليكم يا I just wanna spread love and peace and all of my happiness, yeah, to everyone that I meet. Cause I'm feeling spectacular. I love it when we love one another. Give thanks every day for this life, even with a smile on my face. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah.
Assalamu alaikum, people. Listen to Salaam BCR coming to you live from Berry. 29.org.uk, that is us. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. I know that there's people who are very eager, very keen, and that's really great. I really appreciate your company. You're listening to Salaam BCR with me, Anwar al-Haq, and I have a guest with me, and I'll introduce you. You can probably see him if you're watching on YouTube and Twitch, then you know who it is, but otherwise, I will shortly introduce you to him. We actually, family, this is another thing that I'm going to introduce you to, because how we're family, because it's not blood family, but mashallah, how we go back. And inshallah, so you'll be able to quiz the man. You're sort of giving half of it away, you see, quizzing the man. So he's the man, he's there with me, he's the man himself. Thank you for joining us. You're listening to Salaam BCR, coming to you live from the heart of Derry, 29.org.uk. I'd love you to join in with us, and if you have any questions you want to call in, then the number to dial is 0161 219872. The number is 0161 219872, and you can also mobile us on WhatsApp 07990 264 144. WhatsApp with a message or just call. It'd be really nice to hear your voice, because that's what really makes this interesting. I want to hear my people, my friends and family, to make sure that, I tell people that I've got lots of listeners, but they seem to sometimes question me, do I really have these listeners? I'm telling you, we have these listeners, so here we are. My guest this evening, Mr. Maqsood Ahmad. Assalamu alaikum, Maqsood. How are you? Thank you so much for taking time. I'm a busy man, and these, especially these lockdown periods, for you to get out of the family, because we're supposed to be hiding away in houses these days, aren't we? Allahu Akbar. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Jazakallah, Jazakallah. Thank you. Yes. So, Maqsood is, I'll tell you how he's my relative. His Mamu, your Mamu and my mum come from the same pind in India.
Absolutely.
Okay? Ramuwal.
Yeah.
Okay? And this is how people used to relate to themselves. It wasn't just that you were blood related, that, you were your Taya's son or your Chachi's son or your Pupu's son. No. People had so much respect of people. If you came from the same village, a same area, then, that was it. And when we came here, my mother would say, that is my praha. And he would say, that is my pen. And so he became my mamu, and my mum became, and to him, I became his nephew. And alhamdulillah, that's the way it is. And his children and their children, so forth, go on. And they are our cousins in that sense. Islam and, our culture and clan, how we bind together, that is fantastic. And the other thing is that we grew up almost pretty simultaneously in Rochdale. Gee. Maqsood, so after, the early days, we remember playing football and all that, going back to Star Youth Club. Yeah.
Those are the days.
Those were the days, but
Nobody wanted to, so we had to form our own team.
There we are, you see, and then remember, racism, that was a big thing, wasn't it?
It's not gone away. Racism still around in different format.
Gee.
In those days, you're absolutely right. But can I first of all say congratulations on Salaam BCR. It's fantastic that you got this program going. And well done. I know how hard work is being really on Dubai. So well done. Fantastic on that. And yes, you're absolutely right. In those days, the racism was very, very overt. We couldn't get into football teams.
No.
We all felt we had a good skill set.
Absolutely.
So we formed our own team.
Yeah.
And we won the league 2-3 times
Absolutely.
as well from that side
Yes,
of it.
yes.
So, it's been a struggle, but we're hanging in there. And I think that the first generation and our parents, your father, my father, mother, and their sisters and so forth, when they came in the 60s, that was a different kettle of fish. Absolutely. There was no corner shops with halal meat. There weren't hardly any mosques.
No, that's right.
But that was the family. Are you with me?
Yeah.
You may not be blood, but that's what the family was. The family was from those areas, from Pakistan, from India, and so forth. And it's a shame. I think we're losing that. Are you with me? What our forefathers had. And I think we're losing that identity, that trust of building. It doesn't seem to be there anymore, which is a shame in my opinion.
I think life has become, the way I see it, life has become so busy for people individually. And we're so cocooned and just concentrating on our little things, and that we seem to have lost that. You're absolutely right. And this COVID situation presently hasn't really helped, has it?
No, it hasn't. You're absolutely right. But it's a very dangerous time that we're going through, challenging times as well, especially the Muslim community and the Pakistani and the Bangladeshi community, because that the stats have been showing that the most vulnerable communities within Greater Manchester and throughout United Kingdom is the Pakistani and the Bangladeshi community. So we have to take extra precautions.
Why? It seems to be now just in the news lately, Maqsood. I'm sorry I haven't really been able to introduce you properly, but okay, maybe we'll have to do that another time. We'll just carry on as we are doing.
Yeah, don't worry about the introduction. People just get to know about us when we get going.
People can Google Maqsood Ahmed, Chief Executive Officer at Muslim Heritage. Then you'll know exactly what he does, who he is, inshallah. But as I say, as we go along, we'll look into that. A fantastic track record of people, of places where you've worked, places where you've contributed, and again in public life. The reason why I say that, Maqsood, is because I think it's very, very important that our young people this day and age, they should have role models. And we need to bring out our people who have actually done it, got the T-shirt, and can say, yes, we did it. In the times when it wasn't easy.
Absolutely.
It wasn't easy, So when you come, going past now, when we left our school, college, etc. As I went into drama. So what happened with you? Because I remember seeing you on the train one time.
Absolutely, yeah. So when I left school, and I didn't get much education because of the issues of racism and discrimination. So I left school with no qualifications, to be honest with you.
Gee.
And then I was always very keen to do design engineering. So I became a mechanical design engineer on the shop floor.
Okay.
And I remember my mother wouldn't allow me in the house after the first day because at that time you had these sort of overalls that you had to wear.
Yes.
And they stunk of coolant material and things like that. She said, no, take those overalls off before you come to the house. And I thought to myself, I can't go on like this for the rest of my life. Taking overalls off, can't get into the house. And I didn't enjoy that job, really. I wanted to go into the design office where it was nice, clean, white, But in those days, and as you know, well, there was no Asians or black people in the design engineering and design office. They wouldn't allow you in.
No.
You're a shop floor foundry, yes, you could do those jobs, not a problem. But trying to get in to become a design engineer into the drawing office, very, very difficult. But alhamdulillah, you know, I was persistent and I got into design engineering, became a draftsman. I thoroughly loved it. But then my mother decided to move house.
Okay.
And she wanted a house with a garden in the front and a garden in the back. My dad was saying, like anybody else, saying, look, it's our community. We're okay here. Why do we want to move? So we moved into a white area. The second week we were there, we had our window smashed.
Okay.
So that was the first time I was introduced to, well, basically harshly, racism.
Real racism.
Real racism.
Yes.
Bricks coming through your windows, just missing me and my sisters and the others. Then dog dirt come through the, you know, the letter boxes in those. And then going down the streets, getting beaten up on a regular basis. Baki bashing, absolutely. There was the BNP, the National Front and all that. So those were the conditions that I grew up, that you grew up. Are you with me from that side? So sometime I think if it wasn't for racism, I would not have been where I am now. I think it was racism that led me towards going into the Home Office, becoming a chief inspector of constabulary, going into the National Offender Management Service, coming into strategy and policy. So I think that was my driving force to it. Racism has been my driving force. And human rights now. Are you with me in those days? So that was my journey, really, to be honest.
So community racial equality, what was your role in there? What exactly did kind of, I mean, I remember it basically, but you know this government side of business has never really interested me to be quite honest. Politics and none of that really ever kind of my
which is a shame because you know, if you asked me where are the gaps for the Muslim community and the Pakistani and the Bangladeshi community or British Muslims, I would say there are three gaps where we really need to get involved in. One is policy, Anwar. If we don't get involved in, and I learned that working the Home Office.
Phone,
oh, okay, great, brilliant.
Assalamu alaikum.
Happy to take it.
Wa alaikum salam.
We got our brother Hamid, my face in the pie, my pie in the sky, my man on the road.
I was listening intriguingly the conversation with Masood Saab. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam.
Sir, you took me back when I came to this country as 11-year-old. Racism was very high in 67. And mashallah, racism still exists. And you're right, it wasn't very easy. At that time, I can remember, you know, no blacks, you know, no West Indies, you know, no blacks could be allowed to go into certain factories or whatever.
No, G, absolutely right. You remember those signs where you say no blacks, no dogs, and no Irish?
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can actually see. And in the renting accommodation, same thing. So racism was very high. So we came a long way. We've done the race relation thing. You have done very good indeed. Looking at your perspective, Muslim heritage. You are in Manchester, aren't you? Am I right? Yeah.
Yes, Whalley Range, but we cover Greater Manchester and national, really, in a sense. That's what our vision is.
Yeah. We were there yesterday, broadcasting from Whalley Range yesterday from one of the shops, weren't we?
Got my people out on the streets.
He's got spies everywhere. This guy, another guy. He hasn't changed. He had spies on the football pitch, and he's got spies here as well.
And you're right. Basically, you're 100% right. What's happening in the country and what's happening with us? We had to go and start our own institution. Race Relation Council came. We've done that. We all been there. We've done it. But still, I don't know why we have to define racism still. Why do we have to be, you know, that black agenda? Why do we have to have that when we're contributing in this country? Multi-billion pound industry we contribute. Am I right, sir, or wrong?
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, if you look at the Muslim contribution, the black contribution, Britain would not be where it is if it wasn't for the contribution of black people, Muslims, our fathers and forefathers. You know, this country is built on cotton industry, steel industry. And who worked in the cotton industry? It was our fathers, our mothers,
yes,
you know, in that side of it. I mean, Manchester, Rochdale had over 100 cotton mills in the 60s.
Absolutely.
And each cotton mill had around about 2,000 people working in there. And if you looked at the 60, 70% of the people worked in there were people like your father, my father, and other fathers. And the condition of those people when they worked in there, and I remember very starkly in going in, it was no health and safety at all. So our fathers and mothers have contributed so much over the years. And now, alhamdulillah, if you look at, we've got doctors, we've got solicitors, we've got barristers, we've got surgeons, you know, in a sense, with regards to it. So the contribution of Muslims and black people, this book's written on it, you know, in a sense. And you're right. how come we are still not accepted? And I think that's
exactly.
excellent question. Why are we still feel like if we don't belong?
Why do we have to define ourselves who we are? Why do we have to do this? Remember, they ruled on us. Yeah, I was going through some of my old footage of videos the other day, and I found my grandfather was born British by birth.
Wow.
Yeah, my grandfather was born in India, but he was British by birth. He had a passport.
Fantastic.
You know what? And going back, we can't do nothing about it. We're here now, like we said. But you are right. But I keep saying to myself, where's the equal opportunity here? Where are the equal opportunities?
I don't I don't think we define that we want to be called Muslims and black people and Asian people. Circumstances and conditions force us to become that. So, for example, the Black Lives Matter in America here, it wasn't because the black people want to or Muslims wants to go on to that. It's the policies and other things that impact on black people and on Muslims that we have become defined by non-Muslims and non-black people, and because of the condition that we're in.
Masusa, I will ask you this question, please, if you don't mind, because you're far clever than I am.
No. We all have.
You're absolutely right, Hami.
No, we're all. No, not at all. I don't accept that.
No.
We all have experiences.
If we can't give you that credit due to you, right? I have done my bit and all. Anwar has done his bit. I have done what I was done in local authority for 20 years. I was a senior officer and all. I've done my bit, but you have done, because the next generation has contributed far more greater than, I'll be honest with you. But the point I'm trying to say, equal opportunity or no equal opportunity, right? Yeah. But we have done immense contribution in this country. Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt, and that's one of the things that if you have visited the British Muslim Heritage Centre, you'll find that the stories of sacrifice. That's about the Muslim contribution in the First World War. Even I myself didn't know half of the stories until I started at the British Muslim Heritage Centre. Our children don't know that history. The non-Muslims don't know that history. So it's very important for us to promote the history of Muslims in the past, currently, and hopefully, inshallah, in the future. We got another one in their exhibition called the House of Wisdom. The scientific achievements of Muslims in astronomy and medicine and education, etc., is honestly is breathtaking. And every time schools and people come in and they look at that and they read through that, whether they're having conferences, they are amazed with the contribution of Muslims. And I think we need to do more of that. And that's why I'm really proud working in the British Muslim Heritage Centre to do that.
One of the things, Masood, I was going to say to you, son, I should say son to you, son, I'll be honest with you, we have made lots of contribution. We have loads of councillors, mayors and everything, right? I even got MPs. But having said that, some of that doesn't have a leg to pull everything together in our community, become stronger. And, it doesn't matter what allegiance we have, whether we are in Conservative Party or Labour Party. If we came together as positive, as collectively, I think we can make more difference.
You're absolutely spot on. There are three.
You're hitting every point, my boy. But I've got another.
I'm not going to keep you, sir.
Jazakallah. Allah bless you. Allah bless you. You're my number one. You're my number one.
Thank you, Amir Bhai.
We're going to take a quick break, people, and inshallah we'll be back after this. So please stay tuned. And this is a nasheed that Brother Maqsood picked up, and so it's his favorite. Enjoy it, and inshallah we'll see you on the other side of the break. Please enjoy, and we'll be back, inshallah. Sami Yusuf and Hasbi Rabbi. Enjoy.
بیا که بریم به مزار ملا محمد شام سیل گل لاله زار و دلبر جان سیل گل لاله زار و دلبر جان سخی شیر خدا دردم دوا کن مناجات مرا پیش خدا کن مناجات مرا پیش خدا کن یا که بریم به مزار ملا محمد شاه سیل گل لاله زار و دلبر جان گریه کنیم زار زار های های دلبر جان گریه کنیم زار زار های های دلبر حسبی ربی جل الله الله الله ما فی قلبی غیر الله الله الله نور محمد صلی الله الله الله لا اله الا الله الله الله वो तन्हा कौन है बादशाह वो कौन है ओ मेहरीबा वो कौन है क्या ऊंची शान है उसकी सब निशान है सब दिलों की जान है حسبي ربي جل الله ما في قلبي غير الله نور محمد صلى الله لا إله إلا الله af eder günahı Allah alemin padişahı Allah yüreklerin penahı İşit Allah dertimi bu ahlarımı rahmeyle bağışla günahlarımı hayır eyle hem akşam hem sabahlarımı Hasbi Rabbi Cellallah ma fi kalbi gayrullah نور محمد صلى الله لا إله إلا الله يا رب العالمين صل على طه الأمين في كل وقت وحين املأ قلبي باليقين ثبتني على هذا الدين الله الله واغفر لي والمؤمنين بربي جل الله ما في قلبي غير الله نور محمد صلى الله لا إله إلا الله الله God bless you all. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Salaam BCR, and I'm your host, Haq Anwar al-Haq, coming to you every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 6 till 8 p.m. Join me for a chat, request, dedication, whatever the occasion, keeping you company in the home, in the car, we're online, we're on air, we're everywhere. Medium wave 1566 and online, project29.org.uk. Phone 0161 221 9872 or WhatsApp 07990 264 144. Salaam BCR, your one-stop family entertainment. Assalamu alaikum people, yes sir, welcome back. You're listening to Salaam BCR with me here, Anwar al-Haq, and my guest this evening is my brother Maqsood Ahmed from Rochdale, where I grew up as well. And, we grew up at pretty much the same time. So I'm very pleased to have him here. Holds a very, very fantastic, very high position at the Muslim Heritage Center, the CEO, the man who controls it all. But, it's the life before that led him to that, coming back home from having traveled pretty much most of the UK in his job positions. So, Maqsood, as we were talking before, you were with the CRE, Community for Racial Equality?
Yeah, Commission for Racial Equality.
Commission for Racial Equality.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then you went on to the Home Office.
Yeah, after that, actually, I went on the police inspectorate inspections, because we did some police inspection after the death of Stephen Lawrence, if you remember.
Yes.
And the HMIC, Her Majesty's Inspector of Constabulary, were looking for people who were actually from the community that had experience of tackling racism.
Okay.
So they advertised in The Guardian for 2 inspectors.
Right.
And alhamdulillah, I was one of them who was appointed through the recruitment process. So I did 3 years with the HMIC, inspecting police forces across the country.
Right.
And
job being to?
The emphasis was to, after the investigation Judge Macpherson did with regards to Stephen Lawrence inquiry, there were a number of recommendations for the police service to change the culture and increase the confidence of policing within the black community and the Asian community, etc., to look at the policy. So we set up the Black Police Association, we set up the National Association of Muslim Police, which still exist. So it was my job to make sure that the culture of policing actually changed, became more inclusive as an inspector. So we used to go and inspect, myself and another colleague of mine called Mike Franklin, another gentleman from the South. So both of us were recruited, and we were the
Sounds
first.
like a person from the black background.
Yes, African Caribbean background. We were the first 2 to be appointed ever for the HMIC who were from people of color.
Fantastic.
In a sense. So our job was basically to make sure the police service were more inclusive in recruitment and also tackling institutional racism, because that's what Macpherson said. Judge Macpherson came up with a definition saying the police service is institutionally racist. So by having the definition is fine, but how do you then make it so they're not institutionally racist? So that was where we did all the inspections.
Which just reminds me, when I remember when I was leaving, I was about to leave high school and move on. One of the things that I was looking was actually, this was 1972, so I'm giving my age away here now to people who, I may not look it, but I am that age.
You're a lot older than me. I know you can't tell, but
you rascal, you rascal. I can say that to him frankly because he's, like I say, he's my brother. But I was almost at the point of joining the police force, and I remember this gentleman who was an officer in the police, and he said to me, "Don't." At that time, he said, "Don't." And purely, I think I take it in the way that he meant well for me. There was institutional racism. Not that it's gone away, I don't think.
It hasn't gone away, but I think at that time, in the 70s and the 80s, it was really extreme and it was very rife and it was very overt.
Yes.
I would say that the police service is the best career for anyone to go on to if you're black, if you're Muslim.
Really?
No, absolutely, because if you look at it, police officer will always be needed. You'll never get made redundant if you're a police officer.
No, but
and if you look at the career of it, from a constable to a sergeant to a superintendent, and then I always believed under that if we want to eradicate racism, then we have to do it twofold.
You have to be
internal and external.
I totally agree.
Are you with me in a sense?
You have to be in it. You have to be in it to win it.
It's no good moaning about it. I'm saying, listen, it's the best career. Seriously, if I had to start my career again, I would have gone into the police service. And perhaps I would have been a commander or a commissioner or assistant commissioner or chief constable. You never know, inshallah. Are you with me? So I wait for the day when we have Muslims to become chief constable. The first Muslim to be a chief constable will be progress for us with regards to that.
Do you think people actually get equal opportunities?
Listen, in our society has got a racism. Are you with me in a sense? Not just in Great Britain, but everywhere in the West and so forth. You'll get that in Pakistan. If you're a minority, there'll be racism in minority there. And you get it from other side as well with regards towards it. So racism, I'm afraid, is not going to go away. It will always be there. But what we need to do is make the best of it. So if somebody asks me a question, am I living in the best country? Yes, I am, honestly. I wouldn't live anywhere else. United Kingdom would be the best country that I would live in, personally. Are you with me? Because we can pray, we can follow our own faith. Yes, there are challenges. But overall, this country has provided us with a lot, and we need to give that back as well, and we need to continue to make it better.
I endorse what you say, Brother Maqsood, because yes, I think we're very fortunate to be living in a country like this. Because I think if somebody like me, you know, the way I am, I think I'd have been in Pakistan, I'd have probably been dead by now. You know, as outspoken as I probably am and shut my mouth off sometimes when it's above and beyond. That's being one thing, but I mean, you know, what it's given us is, you know, I always say it openly. I say it I've said it on the radio. I've said it wherever the opportunity comes. I've said it in that, you know, what it has provided. It provided me with a fantastic education. Yeah. It provided my children with a fantastic education, and now it's providing my grandchildren with a fantastic education, and everything else that comes with it. And as you say, rightly, we have the opportunity to practice our deen without any restrictions, you know, none whatsoever. So I think we have to give credit, and anybody that says otherwise, I'd love them to say, call in on 01612219872, and then we got the Zoom number, people, come on. The WhatsApp number, which is 07990264144. I want to hear your voices, Betty. I've got two brothers in here now. Brother Mazur has come and joined me. You know, unfortunately, I haven't been able to set up the camera for him, so such a beautiful guy that he is. You know, he's going to have to put his face round just with Brother Maqsood, and so people can see him. Brother Maz, come on.
I'm just worried about the social distancing now.
Allahu Akbar. Oh, social distancing. Yeah, well, you know, we have the COVID screens here. He leaned over, sorry, yes, but I mean, look, you know, people, this is my bandana and also my face mask. So, you know, I'll tell you a story on this now while I'm at it. I went into Humbang yesterday, and there's that one of Apna guys there, and I had it on like this.
He said, cover your nose.
There he was. Come into the microphone. I'm going to put you on. Yeah. What does he say? He says,
cover your nose.
Yeah, and what I said to him, I said, come out and tell me that. That's just how it is. But anyway, this is my people. Yeah, here I is. My mask is here. I always carry it with me, and then otherwise it becomes a fashion accessory. You know, and that's what it is. I've got a couple of these, so I swap them around all the time. But anyway, Brother Maz, welcome, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Come closer to the mic, G.
Thank you for having me on the show.
You're welcome. Lift the microphone up a bit. Gee, that's it. You're a natural.
I'm a stoner.
You're a natural. Okay, so you're going to observe this time here now with me, yeah?
I am just going to listen.
Gee, thank you very much. No, you're going to be part of it, Rabbi. Brother Maqsood, so, you know, we want, as I said, so you're absolutely right. What this country has given us, I don't think we can take that away from anybody. You know, can't argue the point. But moving ahead, I find now there is just my observation, there is kind to be a ceiling limit as to what you can achieve in the public domain. Hence, I see a lot of our people, you know, being self-employed, going into setting up their own businesses and so forth. What do you think?
No, you're absolutely right. There is a ceiling. There's always been a ceiling. But the ceiling is getting nearer and nearer for us to smash. And it's up to us to smash that. So, for example, when the brother on the telephone mentioned about our councillors and politicians, we have more councillors now and politicians than we ever had before when we were growing up.
Gee.
If you remember, there was only Councillor Abdul Hamid Chowdhury. And he had an impact. May Allah bless him. Absolutely. Yeah. Now we have, in Rochdale, we have 9 councillors. Overall in Greater Manchester, we must have 40.
Right.
That's an army.
Yeah.
But the challenge we have is that, do we have the right people? Do we have the articulate people? Do we have the people who will meet the challenges of the modern racism and discrimination that happens? So, for example, with all due respect to them, and some of them are very good, don't get me wrong, but the issue is if you don't understand policy and if you're a politician, then don't become a politician. If you don't understand the media and how you discriminate, then don't become a politician.
Thank you.
If you can't motivate people, then don't become a politician.
Thank you.
Don't put your name forward for it.
Love it.
So we have to be, and we are the ones who are responsible because we vote for them.
Yeah.
Are you with me in a sense on it?
Yes.
And we decide whether we want to be on the Conservative member or a Labour member or Liberal Democrat members. I'm not a member of any party on purpose. Because I believe truly that once you become a member, then the votes had to be given.
You have an affiliation.
Then people do not even come to knock on your doors, Anurbai. You know me, my views on this.
Yeah.
That means you are losing your opportunity to have a debate with the decision makers.
Yeah.
So that's entirely up to them how they want to do that. But I would never become a member of any political party because I want them to come and knock on my door.
Yep.
And I want them to answer the questions in my hometown.
Be accountable.
So, for example, in Rochdale and other boroughs, why is it that now in 2021 we still don't have one Muslim at a senior level in senior management team? Why is that? And this is 2021. Are you saying to me that our second and third generation of people are not qualified? They don't have the experience? Well, I'm in front of you.
Yes.
If I can work in the Home Office, if I can work in the inspectorate and lead in superintendents and inspectors and commanders, why can't people like me and you and our guest here actually become commanders, become directors of operations, become directors of strategy, become directors of finance?
Yeah.
Our people are very good at finance.
Yes.
One thing they're very good at is always been finance.
Yes, absolutely, business-minded
And yet,
people.
we don't have one finance director in the 10 boroughs in Greater Manchester.
Okay.
So my challenge to people is, when you vote for people, when you vote for certain things, think about it. Don't just give it because you belong to a brotherhood. Don't just give your vote because you belong to a group. Because you are actually not doing any communities any favors.
No.
And that's my view. I've always had that view. and
Brother
I will
Ma-
continue to have that
Brother
view.
Maqsood, I agree
until
with
we
you. And
make
it's like,
changes.
it's like that, of I'm okay, Jack.
Yeah, but your daughters and sons won't be. This is
Gee,
where you go
no,
wrong.
Are you with me? I'm right with you. That's what
and
I'm
I
agreeing
have
with
this
you.
debate with our very influential millionaires.
Gee.
And I upset some of them.
Yeah.
Because I'm saying, yes, you're okay as an individual.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah, individually Muslims, right? In Greater Manchester, we must have 200 millionaires in Greater Manchester.
I want to know one or two of
Are
them.
you with me, Anwar Bhai? But if you look at the conditions of the Muslim in Greater Manchester, being the second largest ethnic minority after white Christians, we are so disadvantaged, unbelievable. Unemployment is high.
Yeah.
Health inequality is high.
Yeah.
Dementia, mental health, diabetes is killing us.
Yeah.
There are Muslims losing their feet and legs because of diabetes, which is reversible. Absolutely shocking.
That is so saddening. That really hurts me because when I hear things like that and people who are you're not on the ground floor, but you're in the know. You know what I mean? You know it's happening. And so you're connected with that. And that really hurts me that it's happening, but it also pleases me that there are people who are prepared to put their head over the parapet wall and say it as it is.
Listen, if we don't, then who will?
Gee.
Don't expect the others to do it.
No.
That's what my father always said to me. Son, you want to fight for justice? Then you have to fight for justice because nobody else is going to do it.
No.
And I'm saying now my challenge to people is because if they don't wake up, particularly the Muslim community, things will get difficult for us. Yes, for the rich and the millionaires and the others who got lovely homes and 3-mile radius gardens that you can't even throw a stone at. Are you willing to break your window?
Yeah.
They won't be impacted on it, but their children will. My sons and daughters are not going to be stopped with achieving their aspirations and Rabbi because their father is an Asian who don't want them to progress.
Yeah.
My daughters, who are very, alhamdulillah, bright, the solicitors, teachers, and so forth from me, and pharmacists, their challenges, it's not their father who's an Asian trying to keep them at home or their husbands. The challenge they're going to face is the structural racism and Islamophobia.
Yes.
That's going to stop them getting into the senior positions.
Yes.
And my job is, as a father, while I'm alive, is saying, I don't want my daughters to go through what Anwar you and I went through. Remember the days that you were standing on a football pitch, on the byline like me, and we looked at each other, when we saw white people players and we thought, they're crap.
Exactly.
How come the hell are they playing and we aren't? Well, that's happening in employment. That's happening everywhere else.
Well, Brother Maqsood, we're going to we're going to take a quick break, and inshallah we'll be back after this. So please stay tuned, and we'll continue with this. I'm so pleased that Brother Maqsood came in, and I really, really appreciate it. Please stay tuned, and inshallah we'll be back on the other side after this. Thank you.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम, मैं हूं निर्मल अली। आपके शहर बरी में एक रेडियो स्टेशन बना है सलाम BCR के नाम से, तो जनाब उसको सुनिए और सुनते रहिए। मैं भी इंशाल्लाह आपको ज्वाइन करूंगी जल्द ही और आपसे बहुत सारी ढेर सारी बातें करनी है, तो सुनते रहिए सलाम BCR।
Salaam BCR, VOA 1566, on it everywhere.
Want to be on radio? Then log into our website www.project29.org.uk and email me Aiden for more details.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम, मैं हूं जान रैम्बो और आप मेरी आवाज़ इस वक्त जिस रेडियो स्टेशन पर सुन रहे हैं उसका नाम है सलाम BCR। सलाम BCR की तमाम टीम को और तमाम सुनने वालों को मेरा प्यार भरा सलाम। तो सुनते रहिए सलाम BCR।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम, मैं मोहम्मद इदरीस और आप सुन रहे हैं सलाम BCR। मेरा और आपका साथ हुआ करेगा मंगल से जुमेरात तक, जिसमें आप मुख्तलिफ मौज़ूआत पर प्रोग्राम सुन सकेंगे। आप हमें सुनते हैं मीडियम वेव 1566 और ऑनलाइन project29.org.uk पर। मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ आप मेरा साथ निभाएंगे। प्रोग्राम में शामिल होने के लिए नंबर है 01612219872 और व्हाट्सएप 07990264144 और दुनिया के किसी भी खित्ते से रब्ता कर सकते हैं। तो सुनते रहिए सलाम BCR, आपका अपना लोकल रेडियो।
Salam, salam, salam. Our radio, your radio, community radio. Tune in, Media Wave 1566.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम, आप सुन रहे हैं रेडियो सलाम BCR मीडियम वेव 1566। मैं हूं फरीद अहमद, आपकी खिदमत में हाजिर होता हूं हर सोमवार की शाम 7 से 9 बजे तक। सुनते रहिए रेडियो सलाम BCR।
He caught me off guard, people. So you see, the commercial finished, and there I am still. Where's my mouse gone? Where's my rat gone? Welcome back, Jizzy. I've got a brother. I've got brother Khizr on the phone here, and brother Khizr, assalamu alaikum. Brother Khizr, where are you? Khizr, have you gone on silent for me?
Hello?
We got you. Khizr, assalamu alaikum. Khizr, speak up. Hello? Having a little bit of a technical issue there. I don't know why, but well, I'll try and get him back anyway. So as we were saying, Brother Maqsood, a brother has just phoned in and said he was aggressive. It's not. I don't, Brother Mujib.
No, he's got very right to say that.
No, but I don't. No, but
I don't agree with it. Are you with me?
No, I don't.
And I think there's also a bit of a stereotyping when an Asian, confident person comes on a radio or goes on anywhere else. People think it's aggressiveness.
I think it's the nature of our tone.
Listen, the reason why people like me speak like this is because I know the challenges we face. And if people don't get angry or if they don't get really passionate about racism and human rights, then we haven't got a leg of a chance to progress in society. And it's been people like the others who actually worked very, very hard for ourselves and our children and other children, and that's the way we should do it. But if somebody else speaks like this, they'll be saying how passionate that person is.
Yes.
If sort of like a white person came on and did the same thing, they'll be saying, wow, this person is really knowledgeable and very passionate.
Brother Khizr, are you there with us?
So I make no apologies, and bye. You know me.
Okay. I'm hoping Brother
I'm sorry
Khizr
I frightened him, actually. I hope he's not frightened. Brother, come back on and have a question.
Assalamu alaikum.
Hello.
Ji, assalamu alaikum. We can hear you, Brother Khizr. Assalamu alaikum.
Mark, I can't hear anything. There seems to be some problem with that. Try to call the landline.
Please call the landline. Jazakallah. Thank you. Okay. Now, yes, inshallah, we'll get Brother Khizr on from Bradford. He's a lawyer by his profession, so he might be able to grill you. I don't know.
I blame you, Anwar Bhai, because you keep telling me to speak up and get closer. So I'm speaking up, getting closer now. People saying I'm aggressive.
Assalamu alaikum.
Can't wait.
Hello.
Ji, assalamu alaikum. I don't know. Brother Khizr, phone on my landline. I can hear you. I don't know why. There we are. We got it here. Ji, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Brother Khizr, I don't know. We could hear you, but you couldn't hear us. Was that it?
Yeah, maybe something wrong on my end, so that's why I decided to ring you on the landline.
Jazakallah. Thank you so much. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good, very good.
Are you been listening into the show?
Yes, I have. Yeah, it's been interesting topics being discussed. And
do you think my brother is being aggressive here?
Well, it depends on his point of view, on his what do you call it? I mean, I wasn't listening all the way, but I've come across such views before.
Jazakallah. Well, listen, but you see, Brother Mujib, we're sorry that you felt that my brother Maqsood was being aggressive. But no, I absolutely right. Thank you for saying that. But I think it's a reminder to us. Maybe I think it's me. I get a little bit hyper when I'm passionate about somebody and people or something. Any topic, and I can get hyper very easily. And this is what it is. When you're number one, when you're confident about something, and then you are well versed with it, and then you want to make a point to the people, then staying very cool and calm and collected sometimes becomes very difficult. And we, with the Punjabi blood in us, it's again that little bit extra. So please excuse us if you were thinking along that. But I really appreciate your comment. It's something that we should consider anyway. Brother Khizar, what's happening in life, bro?
Well, basically just I'm plodding along. Nose to the grindstone, working in the office, and we just got us some new stuff that we're dealing with. So just kind of tied up with that at the moment.
Those who don't know, Brother Khizr is a lawyer by his profession.
Yes.
I just went out to close the door. That's why I'm out of the shot there. I have to direct people and tell people what's happening in the studio. Yeah, Brother Khizr is a lawyer. Khizr, what's your main field of expertise?
Well, my line of work involves litigation. Basically, that's the general area that we do. But within that, we deal on various areas, including bankruptcy, insolvency, personal injury, commercial litigation. Where one business is suing another, or another is being sued by the other.
I could have done with your services about a year or so ago, but that's the history anyway. Yeah. Coming back to the present moment, what are you up to now?
Well,
in this COVID-stricken world that we're living in.
Well, it's funny you should mention that, because that's the particular context that we've been instructed on recently. Is to do with these. I don't know whether you might have heard. There's been a recent Supreme Court ruling on business interruption insurance claims by many businesses. Initially, for various reasons, and insurance companies were declining these claims by various businesses.
Okay.
Now there's been a recent Supreme Court ruling which has opened the door for businesses to be able to make valid claims for loss of business, loss of revenue, that type of thing. And mashallah, we've received a few instructions from various business entities, commercial people, to act on their behalf in prosecuting these claims on their behalf.
Oh, right. Well, that should be useful to people because the people like me who don't know the full, not number one, not experts, but then don't know the full length of the law, how it expands, and people obviously, we all have insurances with our business and so forth, and sometimes I think we're ignorant. Probably, I think, in a polite way of saying it, of what we're actually entitled to when we pay our premium every year, and every year they seem to go up. But I think sometimes when it comes to collecting or getting what we probably deserve, it takes a long time, or we don't actually even avail it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, obviously, business insurance companies are businesses. Claims are their expense. So nobody likes to. They tried their utmost to try to resist any claims. In the main, when somebody makes a claim, they are quite good. They do, they pay. They exercise their policies. But certainly in this case, in this current environment of COVID-19, they've kind of gone all the way in resisting the attempts by various businesses to make good on their insurance policies, and alhamdulillah, the Supreme Court has backed the ordinary man on the street or the ordinary business on the street, and allowed, because what the insurance companies were doing they were saying that the policies that these businesses had didn't cover COVID-19 specifically, and they were using legalese, legal arguments to deny people their claim. Well, the Supreme Court had a good look at it. They went into the thing in a very detailed manner, and it was a very complex litigation. Very and even the judgment that's come out by the court is very, very lengthy, very long, and very complex. It details their reasoning. But we're in the process of now trying to understand this judgment that's come out and trying to help our clients in trying to trying to get their claim resolved one way or another.
Well, bruv, I want to thank you for number one phoning in, because I think it's important that people do phone in. So that's you've from the other side of the border, because these days you'll have to have a passport to come into Lancashire. You being in Yorkshire.
Yeah, well, I think we as Yorkshiremen always argued that there has to be a passport. We want to be independent. We want to be an independent nation.
Well, I was hoping that you would come over to the studio one day with your kid.
No, inshallah, yes. That sounds good.
Hannah?
Yeah.
So, inshallah, we look forward to having you here, bro. And thank you for phoning in. And people, listen, anybody that's in this field and, is in business and is insurance policies and so forth, and if you have any queries, then please get in touch with me and then I can pass you on to Brother Khizr and get my 10% out of it. There was a Zardari, Prime Minister of Pakistan. No, was he Prime Minister? Was he Prime? Yeah, President. Then he later on became President because he didn't want to do the hard work. He wanted somebody else to take the flak, and he made all the decisions. So he was known as Mr. 10%. I want to be known as Mr. 10%, but in a good way. Not that 10%, because I think the foreign governments even got to know him as Mr. 10%. And I've heard it somewhere, Mazhar. I've heard it that, when foreign dignitaries came to meet him, they were told by their policymakers and their advisors, check your fingers once you draw your hand back, that you've got your full finger. That's exactly what it was. Was that true? Because you're well connected over there, brother, aren't you?
Well, don't get me started on Pakistani
politics.
Politics, because I only know it too well, and some of the politicians know them too well in terms of their background and various other exploits. Unfortunately,
it's a murky field. It's a murky field.
Well, it's a swamp. To quote another great president, let's clean the swamp. Actually, I was a bit sad to see my good friend Donald go. It was
Okay. Well. Maybe I think we'll have a discussion on that another day.
Don't get me going on Mr. Donald Trump. I've already been accused of aggressiveness, and now you really hear me about aggressiveness if Mr. Trump's support.
Are you pro-Trump or were you against him?
Trump. Anyone who can support Trump, honestly, to me, it needs about 6-hour in-depth debate. Mr. Trump has been the biggest disaster for equality and human rights in America, in my opinion. Might be okay for business people, having that discussion we had before. Are we individually looking at ourselves as individuals and progress? Trump is your man, if you're a business person. But if you're not the 95% of a person who's a black living in America, who's a Muslim living in America, a woman living in America, and you ask them about the conditions and the policies that he's brought in, they've been disastrous.
And you think Biden will be any good?
No, it'd be better. It can't be any worse than Trump. I'll tell you that now.
Can I just say one thing? More black people, right, were killed under the Obama tenure than there were under Donald Trump. Right.
And no wars declared during his tenancy.
But also he gave Israel, Jerusalem to Israel. He also I can go on and on as well.
And the Saudis bent down to him.
Well, that's fine. That's
and
up
they
to
all
the
agreed
Saudis.
with him.
That's up to the Saudis. Are you with me? I'm saying as an individual, Trump is not my ideal leader. Are you with me? I'm not a business person. I'm not an individualistic. I'm from that side of it. All I know is if you look at the policies that he brought in, and if I was a Muslim living in America, I would be very worried. Absolutely very worried.
Well, look, the thing is, right? Look, the thing is, if you're a Muslim, you probably have to be worried, wherever you are.
Whatever you are.
Right. But the thing is, right? We're talking about, 200, 300, 400. I don't know how long it's been. 400 history, of America, and 99.9% of that length of that history, right? The great black people of America have been oppressed, right, and depressed, and kept under the thumb of the, of the so-called, so-called liberals. The only way the liberals have had power is because they've been able to maintain the slums and the unemployment and the crime rates, right? But anyway, that's a long debate, brother.
Yeah, I think we just have to agree to disagree there, brother. But I respect your view on that. That's
this
great.
is what it's
Fantastic.
about. This platform is about people having their opinions, and they can be different. They can be differing opinions, but as long as we share them, and then at least we air them, and then other people get aware of them. Hey,
this is great for your. This is great for your radio. This is absolutely fantastic.
This is a bit of a point.
You just increased your membership by 10% on this one.
There was a point in there, brother.
That's the whole idea, isn't it, really? To get the
apne Khizr, what happened with that Kalia thing, yaar?
Well, you never,
I know.
To use a Yorkshire term, you didn't give me the cue.
I know.
You didn't give me the cue.
He's a Rochdalian by heart. That's why, brother. He doesn't know what Q means.
Of course he does.
Being an actor, I think I should know.
You should know, yeah. If you're an actor, you should.
If anybody should know, and then having had a snooker club, Q, you're the Q. So I should know. But you're right. You're absolutely right. I really missed it, brother, because thank you so much. Love you lots and dearly for phoning him up. And inshallah, yes. So people, anybody who's listening in, if you are having any issues, regarding your insurance policies with your businesses, then Khizr is your man and I am your middleman. The phone number is 01612219872. Please phone in and, we'll advise you. Project29.org.uk is where you're listening. If you're listening online and if you're listening in your cars or at home or whatever in the locality, then it's medium wave 1566. On WhatsApp, you can hear us around the world, which is 07990264 You can WhatsApp us in wherever you are. It doesn't matter, and it won't cost you because you know why? Internet is cheap these days. We're going to take a quick break, inshallah. We'll be back after this. Khizr, thanks very much for phoning me. Inshallah, I'll speak to you soon.
Speak soon. Bye-bye.
Love you lots. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, people, that was Brother Khizr coming in from where was it, Khizr? My dear brother Khizr is from my Bradistan. In that film, East is East, we go to Bradistan often. Yeah? And brother Khizr lives in Bradistan. So Jazakallah. And here is, we're going to give you a little bit of a nasheed. Inshallah, we'll see you back on the other side. Huh? Take care. Assalamu alaikum.
सुन मेरी दुआ ऐ मेरे इलाह सुन मेरी दुआ ऐ मेरे इलाह सुन मेरी सदा के तेरी रिज़ा की तलाश है वो जो तेरे अर्श को छू सके मुझे उस दुआ की तलाश है मेरे इलाह सुन मेरी सदा के तेरी रिज़ा की तलाश है वो जो तेरे अर्श को छू सके मुझे उस दुआ की तलाश है मेरा दिल गुनाह का मरीज है तू ही एक मेरा तबीब है मेरा दिल गुनाह का मरीज है तू ही एक मेरा तबीब है कि गुनाह को दिल से जो धो सके मुझे उस दवा की तलाश है ऐ मेरे सुन मेरी दुआ ऐ मेरे इलाह सुन मेरी दुआ ऐ मेरे इलाह सुन मेरी सदा के तेरी रिज़ा की तलाश है और जो तेरे अर्श को छू सके मुझे उस दुआ की तलाश ختم وہ شام کر میرے مولا میرے مولا وہ جو نفرتوں سے ہے تر بتر میرے مولا ختم وہ شام کر کہ اخوتوں کو اجال دے مجھے اس صبح کی تلاش ہے سن میری صدا کہ تیری رضا کی تلاش ہے وہ جو تیرے عرش کو چھو سکے مجھے اس دعا کی تلاش ہے اے میرے الہ سن میری صدا کہ تیری رضا کی تلاش ہے اور جو تیرے عرش کو چھو سکے مجھے اس دعا کی تلاش ہے کہیں آندھیوں میں چھپا ہوا کہیں زلزلوں میں گھرا ہوا کہیں آندھیوں میں چھپا ہوا کہیں زلزلوں میں گھرا ہوا میرے دل کو تیرا ہی آسرا کہ تیری پناہ کی تلاش ہے اے میرے الہ سن میری دعا اے میرے الہ سن میری دعا اے میرے الہ سن میری صدا کہ تیری رضا کی تلاش ہے اور جو تیرے عرش کو چھو سکے مجھے اس دعا کی تلاش ہے تو ہے مجھ سے دور بھی پاس بھی تیرا ڈر بھی ہے تیری آس بھی تو ہے مجھ سے دور بھی پاس بھی تیرا ڈر بھی ہے تیری آس بھی بالا کب سنوں گا لتقنا تو مجھے اس ندا کی تلاش ہے میرے الہ سن میری صدا کہ تیری رضا کی تلاش ہے اور جو تیرے عرش کو چھو سکے مجھے اس دعا کی تلاش ہے اے میرے الہ سن میری صدا کہ تیری رضا کی تلاش ہے اور جو تیرے عرش کو چھو سکے مجھے اس دعا کی تلاش ہے میری زندگی بے دوام ہے میرا موت ہی انجام ہے میری زندگی بے دوام ہے میرا موت ہی انجام ہے جو فنا کی راہ پہ مل سکے مجھے اس بقا کی تلاش ہے اے میرے الہ سن میری دعا اے میرے الہ سن میری دعا اے میرے الہ سن میری صدا کہ تیری رضا کی تلاش ہے اور جو تیرے عرش کو چھو سکے مجھے اس دعا کی تلاش ہے
Assalamu alaikum, people. Welcome back. And I'm sorry again. I keep missing the cue every time. And being an actor, how stupid, that I should miss the cue. But there it is. I have brother Muhammad Amin on the line from Bradford. Brother Amin, assalamu alaikum.
وعلیکم السلام سر کیا حال ہے
میرا اللہ کا بڑا کرم ہے نوازش سناؤ تسی سناؤ
جی سر میں سر یہ آپ کا
تسی امین صاحب ایک منٹ بھائی تسی ایسے وقت میری گل سنو ایسے وقت تسی ریڈیو ہوتے ہو سو میں تم خبر کر ٹھیک ہے نا
جی جی
ہاں جی فرماؤ
جی سر میں یہ کہہ رہا تھا کہ आपका जो रेडियो जो है ना प्रोग्राम है मैं बाकायदगी से सुनता हूँ
जी
और बहुत अच्छा जो है ना चैनल चल रहे हैं
अल्लाह तुहानू खुश रखे मेरा भरा बड़ी मेहरबानी
जी जी
कोई फरमाइश कोई रिक्वेस्ट कोई होर कोई अपना कोई तुसी अपनी राय देना चाहो मेरा भरा
बस फरमाइश यही है कि
मेरा ख्याल तुसी अपने भाई अदरीस ना उस प्रोग्राम ते फोन कर देंगे मेरा ख्याल है ना
जी जी जी
मैंने पता कि मैं सुनदा हुंदा अल्लाह तुहानू खुश रखे तुसी साडे प्रोग्राम च फोन कीता मेरा भाई बड़ी मेहरबानी
अच्छा अदरीस साहब ने प्रोग्राम आज कोई
नहीं उन्होंने प्रोग्राम हुंदा है अपने ट्यूसडे वेडनेसडे ते थर्सडे यार देखो मेरी गल सुन अदरीस अपने अमीन भाई ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਹੁਣ ਇਹ ਨਾ ਕਰੋ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿਰਫ ਅਦਰੀਸ ਦੇ ਫੋਨ 'ਚ ਹੀ ਕਾਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਫੋਨ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਭਰਾ ਹੈਗੇ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ
जी बिल्कुल
अगर मेरे भरा की कोई फरमाइश हैगी या तुहाडी कोई खास फरमाइश हैगी तो मैं दसो मैं अपने अदरीस भाई भी सुन रहे होंगे अगर नहीं तो मैं तुसीं मैनूं दसो मैं तुहाडी फरमाइश पूरी कर देंगे मेरा भरा अगर कोई कवाली कोई नात कोई गाना कोई
नात सुना दो ना आका मेरियां अखियां मदीने विच रह गई
और मैं सदके जावां इंशाअल्लाह मैं अपने भरा वास्ते खास तौर पर प्रोग्राम तो खत्म होने तो पहले मैं जरूर लगावांगा की ख्याल है बड़ी मेहरबानी अमीन भाई तुसी फोन किया अल्लाह तुहानू खुश रखे अल्लाह तुहाडे कारोबार तुहाडी माल जान इज्जत इस दे विच अपने बरकत पाए अल्लाह तुहानू खुश रखे मेरा चंद बड़ी मेहरबानी सुंदर ही मेरा भाई जज़ाकल्लाह अस्सलाम वालेकुम जी हाँ तो ये हमारे थे मोहम्मद अमीन भाई फ्रॉम ब्रैडफोर्ड जिन्होंने फ़ोन किया और आप सुने सलाम BCR कमिंग टू लाइव एंड डायरेक्ट फ्रॉम द हार्ट ऑफ Bury because I'm the man that makes it happen project29.org.uk if you're listening in online then that is where you are. You can see us on YouTube, you know, because we're on YouTube right now and we're on Twitch. I meant to, and I apologize. I've got a couple of apologies to make, actually, Brother Maqsood, before we carry on. You know what happened? It was early on when it was Maghrib time. I was here and I was on the phone. You know, brother was on the phone and I was supposed to put on Maghrib Azan. And guess what I did? I put on Isha Azan. So if anybody was listening, and actually somebody phoned and corrected me on that. So Jazakallah for that, because I know, you see, there again, we are here to correct each other and direct each other. Sometimes we're human, my brothers and sisters, we're human and we make a mistake. And I made that mistake. It wasn't deliberate, it was unintentional, but may Allah forgive. But, it was Azan number 1. And so and then I corrected it and then I played Azan for Maghrib. So if there's any ulamas listening on that, if there's a fatwa on that, then I'd like to hit on that. Please.
Own goal. It's an own goal again. See, you got used to scoring own goals in the old days. This is another one.
Maqsood, what can I say? It is what it is. I want people to say, that Yar Anwar Mian, you made such a hash of it, and that it was. But it doesn't matter, inshallah.
We all make mistakes.
Exactly. We live and learn, and that's life, part of life, living and learning. So that was one apology. What was the other apology I was going to make now? I've forgotten now. You see, this is that, and that's the old age factor coming in. I forget once I'm on the route to something, and something else happens, and you get directed somewhere else. But it doesn't matter. We are here. We're here to number one, make things happen for our brothers and sisters. And we put this platform together, and Brother Maqsood will vouchsafe me on this one, in that, we want to give a platform for our next generations to come and gain value from this, learn, experience. That's all we can give. We have vast amounts of experience from having struggled in life, from young boys who educated here, worked here, got the heads kicked in, but then rose up and still, marshaled on. And alhamdulillah, here we are. And we don't want our kids to make those mistakes and have those hurdles. So if the kids can learn from our mistakes and from our experiences, then nothing would please us more, because that would be an achievement. And inshallah, Brother Maqsood, Brother Mazhar, and myself here, so your calls are very important to us, and please keep the calls coming in, and shout Brother Maqsood down. If you want him to cool down, I'm sure he's got, again, just like me, he's got big shoulders. He can carry it through. and defend himself. I
Very
don't need
big
to defend.
shoulders.
Ji?
Having very big shoulders.
I totally agree with you. No, I think in this modern day, Brother Maqsood, you need to be able to put your if you are very confident in something and you can back it up with full knowledge and confidence and also facts, which is what you're doing, and we've lived through them.
It's not that. To be honest with you, and you know me, I'm quite frank with people in a sense on it, because I think people should be genuine. Are you with me? I don't respect people who say one thing and do another thing.
Softly.
And I think sometimes, the people forget thousands of people, black, Asians, Muslims, have worked over 40 years and you're one of them. Are you with me? I have a lot of respect, and I thank you and others, because you were the ones who actually been fighting this exclusion, injustice, and discrimination. If people don't get angry with that even now, then honestly, I'm telling you, you can't leave it to the few of us to keep fighting for racism and discrimination, while the others have this inclusion and an easy life because we've been fighting on their behalf. I'm saying to those people, we're getting drained out. Please join in the battle. Are you with me? Seek your knowledge. Find out what's happening at your local level. Find out why is there so much unemployment. Find out why is this Islamophobia on the increase. Don't turn your eyes away from it. Don't remain silent when it's too late. This is why I get angry or I get very emotional, because when people have knowledge and they find facts and figures on a daily basis that come across to you, and if people don't get angry with that or don't want to do anything about that, then I think they're misguided. They can't leave it to other people all the time.
Nobody else is going to fight your corner.
Are you with me? So that's why. But Anwar, the problem that we're having now, Anwar Bhai, is this: we are a dying breed. You, me, and the others, we are dying breed.
I want to be around for a few years more. I've got my grandkids. Look, I've got my grandkids,
maybe,
and now Osama, I want to see his kids.
And I hope you are. And people, my last presentation and webinar before, and people said to me, well, one person said to me, Maqsood, you come across very, very angry. And I'm saying to them, I come across angry because we're living in an angry environment. And if you're living in an angry environment which is hostile, because you look different,
hostile for Muslims
or
right
you
now,
have a different faith, then if you don't get angry, then something's wrong with you, brother.
Yes.
Because what you're doing then is you're waiting for the angry people to resolve the problems. And that's too much pressure. So take part in it before it's too late. That's my advice to some of the people. Don't remain silent. When you remain silent when injustice is taking place in front of your eyes, then that's a heavy price to pay.
No, I look, I have no problems with people being passionate.
I respect your viewers, but please, I hope they respect me, the position I come from.
Yes.
It's a two-way process.
No, absolutely. And you
know
what?
I'm not doing this for me.
No.
Listen, Anwar Bhai, my career is over, man. I've been challenging all my life. I've come to a stage in the few years I can have an easy retirement.
You could have had an easy retirement now, couldn't you, really, when you look at it?
I'm now fighting I fought for my children before. Now I'm fighting for my grandchildren. Because, see, I don't have the luxury of unconsciousness. See, those people, other people who don't know the facts, who don't know the figures, who don't know what's happening, they sleep easier. But when you get knowledge and information...
Ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is... I didn't want to say that to upset your viewers.
No.
But I'm saying to you, ignorant people sleep better than the conscious people. Because they don't know. They don't want to know.
I remember once driving down in the wrong way, Brother Mazhar, on a one-way street. Driving wrong way. And unfortunately for me, unluckily for me, and the point, ignorance, there was an officer there at the other end, parked up in a police car, and he stopped me. And I said, officer, I'm sorry, I didn't see that. And I genuinely hadn't seen the sign. Okay? And you know what he said? Ignorance is no excuse. Being ignorant of the fact that there was a one-way street and I hadn't seen the sign mean I wasn't observant. And so it is not an excuse. And coming back to this dunya, in the akhirah, it'll be not an excuse. See, I come back to my now platform, my soapbox, is that, at the end of the day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, there will be signs, you'll have seen signs of me in the life. as you planned for your dunya and for the betterment of whatever you wanted. You knew what profession you wanted to go into, what was good for you, where you'd get a good wage, what would give you a good lifestyle, would give you a good living. So I also put it in you that you also knew as a Muslim that there's an akhirah, and you should be accountable for it. So anyway, I'll end my the Muslim debate here, my little rant, and we'll come back to Brother Maqsood here. Gee, Brother Maqsood, so again, with the Home Office and setting up the, working with the Stephen Lawrence inquiry, and and it's sad, it's still not really resolved, that is it?
No, it hasn't been resolved.
I know.
And racism hasn't been resolved, and it'll take a lot more time, and it comes back to the same issue. See, when issues around that affect us as people of color or people of faith, if we don't...
We got Brother Hami on the phone.
If we don't consciously take part in those debates and discussions, then, we are to blame.
Gee.
Yeah, because we can't leave it to other people who are already in position of power.
No, you're right.
Why do people in power want to give up their power?
Nobody wants to.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to give up power.
No.
So if you've got certain people in power position, whether they're white, black, Muslims, Sikhs, and Hindus, they're not going to give up their power. The only way they'll give up their power is if people actually challenge
them. Brother Hami, Assalamu alaikum.
Sorry sir, मैं आपका शो सुन रहा था constantly. बहुत मजा आ रहा था.
I know you constantly listen to the show because you're out on the road and then you are in the shops.
Absolutely. I am in.
No, this is what I'm saying. I really appreciate it. I'm acknowledging it and I'm thanking you for it.
मैं कह रहा था आपने जो बात की, एक important word मैं कहूँ, compassionate is a very good word. Compassionate is very good too to do. And when it comes to the power in our communities and our so-called community leaders in inverted commas, all right, yeah? Okay? And they don't want to give up the power. Nobody wants to. This is where we went wrong in 60s and 70s. Because, younger generation could make the difference. That's why Masood stopped there sitting with you. That's the next generation who can contribute. And then he can train other people and we can move forward. I used to say at one time when I was involved with one of the masjid here, I used to say, these people who are elderly started the mosque, they should become like a house of lords. They should sit and guide us, the next generation. And we should be waiting to take those positions. But they don't let us do that.
Well, you say masjid did...
No, it's absolutely a very good point. And I totally agree with you, brother, in the sense of, it is the responsibilities of the people who are aware, knowledgeable people to train others. And absolutely right. And I think that's one of the reasons why, I think individuals like Anwar Bhai, myself and others, we've always had mentees. We've always trained mentees and had mentors and mentees. We even set up youth aspiring leaders programs like we're doing in the British Muslim Heritage Centre. We've got networks going. You're absolutely right. But I think there is a wider important factor for us than just doing that. That's absolutely right. We should do that. I agree with you 100%. Without that.
They don't want to give up. I was involved in an organization, Community Voluntary Services, CVS is what known as.
Yeah.
We had 200 different organizations affiliated to us.
Yeah.
I was the board member. I became the chairperson. I brought all different communities back again into our fold. And in local authority, I was the chairperson for the black members, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But there were other people too. Local authority used to go, ask me the question about certain things, certain issues. I said, don't ask me. I'll get other people involved. I left my chairmanship and I gave it to somebody else. And that's the idea to recruit other people and take them forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we don't do that.
And alhamdulillah, that's really, really good. Are you with me in a sense? And that's what needs to be happening. So people like yourself are very, very rare at the moment. Are you with me in a sense on it?
Sir,
and we need more. We need more of those people who will do that.
You've got a living example. Anwarul Haq, who started in 2006. And I'm sure he'll remember when we started this journey in 2006. I was involved with this project. I was a senior officer of the local authority that time. Yeah. And this thing was very paramount for me to help and assist and take forward. And here we are, 2021 or 2020, we launched the radio station. It's a momentous task. But you know what? People out there will not give this person a backbone. And that's what we want. And from Muslim heritage, I think you need to mention this. Pioneers of radio station. There are other people too, should be mentioned too. But we mustn't forget that. That's how the community spirit goes forward.
I think, Hami, you know very well, why I do this and why I did this, why I started this. Media is the way forward. Media is the way where you can be influential. You see, we work twofold here. One, we can be influencing other people away from here, from in normal society, but also we can give a platform to our young people because, I remember as an actor coming back from drama school, I cannot say it often enough. The number of, those days we didn't have emails, we didn't have, right now you can send everything across the world just in a few seconds. Those days
Absolutely.
I had to have my photographs at 10 by 8s printed out on black and whites and send them out individually in those big envelopes, with a letter. And Khuda Kasam, I tell you, and every time, and being an actor, you become a little bit of a kind of oblivious, but you become a little bit. I think what's the word I'm looking for? When you take rejection just as a matter of fact. And it was, you never got the opportunity, and all you wanted to do was to have an opportunity to be in the locality of where it was happening, and people would not give you the opportunity.
Sir,
and I wanted
sometimes they don't like you to challenge those positions.
No. I think no. What I'm saying is that we didn't have the opportunity, right? To even as an actor. So what I'm saying is, here we are now providing an opportunity for our young people, and I promise you, they do not value how much what this is worth sitting in front of a microphone or in front of a camera. How much it matters, because a number of times people, Mirabai, please bear with me. A number of times people apply to me, we want to be involved, and I say, what have you done? I have no experience, and yet. They don't want to get off their backside and come into the studio. And for me, I'm saying, come in. I'll provide you training free of charge. I'm not looking for any reward from this. I want to give people the opportunity because I don't care who it is, black, white, yellow, whoever it is. And Khuda Kasam, it's not a matter of religion. It's not a matter of color. It's not a matter of gender. It doesn't matter to me.
No.
Anybody that comes in, we will give them an opportunity.
If I may just make another comment. And I think there's a reason for that. And the reason for that is that, see, when individuals come through experience of an hostile environment like we did, why is it that the generation that we belong to, we can relate to each other? You know why? In my opinion, my experience has shown that you've been beaten up on the streets. I've been beaten up on the streets. You've been called the P word. I've been called the P word. You and I have been walking. That environment has made us a lot stronger. So we wanted to do something for our children. Now we protected our children. Our children don't get beaten up on a daily basis like we used to do. Are you with me?
Very true.
What they are more keen and interested in is what's on TikTok and social media. I see so many young people telling everybody else what they had for breakfast, while Rohingya Muslims, 2 million of Rohingya Muslims are still in Bangladesh. Are you with me? While Chinese and Uyghur Muslims in China are still going through suffering of discrimination. I can go on and on and on.
No, you're
so
right.
Therefore, the people being through that experience are the ones who are actually, and that's what I'm saying, we're a dying breed. When we're dead, I am not so hopeful that there is an army of people behind us, and Rabbi, who's going to take on the mantle and then walk with it. I hope they are. We will do our best to train and develop them and give them the knowledge base of the position they're in those countries. But I'm not hopeful because it's the same old people. It's the same old people doing the same thing because the other ones are living too comfortable. They need to start waking up a little bit because it's going to sooner or later affect them.
Masood Bhai, I'm going to ask you a little challenge if you don't mind.
No, absolutely. Go ahead.
Right. Please come near to the microphone when you speak because you're going very.
All right, sorry.
soft.
Last time I did that, I got called. I was aggressive, so I tried to.
No,
be,
you're not aggressive.
I'm trying to be non-aggressive with.
Do you know what? You have Muslim Heritage website, haven't you?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Your website is recognized by the governments and so on, right? Yeah. Would you be willing? This is a community radio. Would you be willing to put?
They have their own community radio there, Hami.
We have a community radio. We have YouTube. We do all the things that Anwar Bhai is doing here as well. We want to support Anwar Bhai.
It'd be nice to work together to encourage each other. We would say about Muslim heritage, yeah?
Absolutely.
Encouragement. And that's what it's all about. And you're right. This is what I worry. Who's going to take those reins? Opportunities there, and they should be coming on there. And Masood Bhai, the reason I came forward and the reason I do this thing because I'm on the road. I want to promote this radio because Anwarul Haq has given the opportunity to say to people, come and sit here. We'll make mistake, and that's how you learn by
Absolutely
mistake.
right.
And
Absolutely right.
And
Yeah.
we can make
Yeah.
somebody really powerful from Bury, and that should be recognizable.
Yeah, there are three. There are three things I always say that the Muslim community is behind in. Now, I might be wrong. From my experience, I think that's one is policy, the P for policy, and the other one is the media, and public services, the input inclusion, the politics, policy, and media. If we get those three things right in United Kingdom, and we get our young people the articulate into all those three areas, alhamdulillah, I can guarantee you we will see a sea shift of change for our grandchildren. Not for me and not for Anwar Bhai and the others, but for our grandchildren. If we start thinking that way now in those three areas, getting the right politicians who are articulate, getting the policy right, getting the media right. That's why I support Anwar Bhai, and we had to have Heritage TV and radio, because media is so important. But the media has to be right. The media has to play a role of education, not just Bollywood music and everything else and the rubbish that comes across. Because what we are doing also with the media, we are actually de-skilling our young people. I listen to some of the radios, and I won't mention who they are, and I'm telling you the language that comes on there, the quality of the language and the culture is dead, absolutely dead. Even if you listen to the lyrics of those songs are dead. Is that what we are trying to create? Because when a nation loses a language and anything and identity, then that nation will never get recognized.
I totally agree with you. And this is the radio station. That's why I love this one. Reason being what we are playing at the moment and what we're actually receiving to do and all. But having said that, the politician, do you think the politician, our MPs and local councillors, are really, really keen to do something? Do you think they will do that?
I think we have a number of politicians coming through, from my experience, but majority of them still got a long way to go. But in fairness to them, there are one or two that's coming through that have started to make an impact, and we need more of those. We need the best of the best, inshallah. You with me? So when we select a councillor, and I was saying this to you before, Anwar Bhai, and when we select an MP, it is up to the Muslim community to select the right one with the right skills.
I totally agree with you, Maqsood, because at the end of the day, they are your servants. They're not your masters. I tell you that. They are public servants. They come. The only time they come knocking on your door is when they need your votes. When do you see them otherwise, right? And let me also, I'm going to add here, I might be detriment to my own organization, but the point is, you see, you hold these people accountable, right? When you hold them accountable, they go back to their masters and say that you're a troublemaker. Right? I'd rather be a troublemaker. I'll tell you something. Number of times people say to me, I say, I'm not accountable to anybody other than my Allah.
I agree with you. And not only that, when I was in Tech Enterprise Council during the Margaret Thatcher Day, I went to St. James Palace to meet these guys. All the politicians were there. And you know what? Somebody said to me, do not go near them. They are accountable to us. They should come and say hello to us. We had appointed them. And this is the way we need to change our politics, Asian politics in this way too.
And I say the people of Bury now, Hami, and I'm sure you'll endorse it, and Brother Maqsood and Brother Mazhar will endorse it, is that, because we live in Bury, we can only really speak to the people of Bury, but I think wherever you are hearing this, I think your politicians need to be held accountable to you. And you should...
And ask them the question, what is my vote worth for you?
Yeah.
What are you going to do for me?
Yeah.
Account them at that
and
time.
And if they're not doing your job, if they're not doing the job, replace them. Find a replacement, because there are people who are equally as good.
Absolutely. Oh, look, I've said enough. You carry on with Masood.
Jazakallah, Hami, always on the road.
At the moment, this is not a taxi driver. This is actually, guys who supply packaging material all over Manchester and Rochdale.
Hami's plugging his business now. I love you, Hami. I love you.
I am passing Cheetham Hill at the moment, and they are your actual posters are in Adam Meat Shop, blaring away, which I've sent to you.
Hami, listen to me. Try and put them in the windows, in the main front windows, so people can see them passing by.
I have done that. If you go to Fish and Chip Shop, you'll see it there.
Fantastic. Jazakallah,
I will
Hami.
do that.
Where are you now? Did you
Take
say
care.
you're in Cheetham
Masood
Hill?
Saab, it's a lovely to talk to you. I really mean that. I think you're on GM Muslim Forum, aren't you? You're on the group and all, aren't you? Group chat on WhatsApp.
I used to be. I'm on a number of them, to be honest with you.
He's like you. He's like you, Hami.
I'm trying to reduce some of the
Yeah,
WhatsApp.
but it's so blessing that we have got something actually going right. And if you need my help anytime, sir, anytime, any place, my brother has my phone number. I'll be there to support you anyway.
We always need people's help. This job is not for one person.
I mean, take care wherever you are, lad, and
You
I'll
too.
see.
Allah Hafiz.
I'll speak
Allah
to you,
Hafiz.
inshallah, shortly. Take care. Khudafiz, Khudafiz. So there we are. You see, Brother Hami, as you know, in that the sky slogan, "I in the sky, I have my face in the pie." You know, this is my brother Hami, because he always goes to all the takeaways. You know, I've got to give my brother a plug in as well, because he supplies, you know, to all the packaging. You know, when you get your food, takeaway food, it's the stuff that they put the food in, in the containers. So he supplies that there, and so he's doing his own business, you know, and he's doing, you know, he's putting my posters and everything and the flyers everywhere, and he's spreading the word. And what we've said to all the people who are you know, listening, especially business people, all you have to do is just phone and pick up the phone and give us a call on 01612219872 or WhatsApp us 0799026444, and you can advertise your business here on the phone, on the radio for free. I promise you. I'm not going to charge you. I'm not going to send you the bill. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave me the what and wherefores, you know, to run this thing. I don't know how long for. Because very soon the electric bill's going to come and the gas bill's going to come, and I'm not going to be able to pay it. No, of course I'm going to be able to pay it. You know, they'll cut the electric off. No way. While Anwar al-Haq is around, inshallah. But while brothers like Maqsood and brother Mazhar and brother Hami and brother Idris and brother Akil, you know, and the brothers and sisters are here and making their du'as. You know, your du'as are more important to us than your finances. Khuda Qasam, I swear to you, your du'as and your support in that sense is more important to me than anything else. May Allah Ta'ala put barakat in all our efforts. So Jazakallah, anybody that's phoned in, and I need to take a little break, because we had a brother who made a request, and it's Aka Meri Aankhiyan. This was brother Amin, yeah? Brother Muhammad Amin, who phoned in from Bradford, and he wanted me to pay him by Kamal Shahid Afridi. And so here we are for Brother Muhammad Amin. Brother Amin, I hope you're listening. This is for you and everybody else that's here. Take care. We'll see you shortly on the other side of the road, inshallah.
ਅੱਖਾਂ ਰਹਿ ਗਈਆਂ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਮਦੀਨੇ ਆਕਾ ਮੇਰੀਆਂ ਅੱਖੀਆਂ ਮਦੀਨੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿ ਗਈਆਂ ਆਕਾ ਮੇਰੀਆਂ ਅੱਖੀਆਂ ਮਦੀਨੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿ ਗਈਆਂ ਆਕਾ जो जाना चाहता है, जो नहीं गया, अल्लाह ताला सबको मदीना पाक की हाज़िरी नसीब फरमाए। मिलके हाथ उठा के मुझे पता चले, जो आशिक पढ़ रहा है, मेरा मालिक सुन ले, आज सबकी हाज़िरी मंजूर हो जाए। मिलके बोले, आका मेरी अखियां मदीने विच रह गईयां, आका मेरी अखियां मदीने मदीने तुसां ते मैनू दर ते सदिया वेले मैनू शहरों कढिया तुसां ते मैनू दर ते सदिया वेले मैनू शहरों कढिया तुसां दे दर दियां सोहणियां यादां आका मेरा साथ न छड्डिया तुसां दे दर दियां सोहणियां यादां आका मेरा साथ न छड्डिया तुसां दे दर दियां सोहणियां यादां आका मेरा साथ न छड्डिया तुसां दे दर दियां सोहणियां यादां आका मेरा साथ न छड्डिया नित दियां सोचां हैं नित दियां सोचां हैं जिंद मेरी ले गईयां आका मेरियां अखियां मदीने विच ले गईयां आका मेरियां अखियां मदीने विच ले गईयां मुक गया वीज़ा मुक गया वीज़ा ते जुदाइयां फिर पै गईयां आका मेरियां अखियां मदीने विच ले गईयां आका मेरियां अखियां मदीने विच ले गईयां आका मेरियां अखियां मदीने विच ले गईयां और यहाँ काफी हमारे हजूर के दीवाने मस्ताने बैठे हैं जो मदीना पाक इस साल इकट्ठे थे हजूर के कदमों में और शायर लिख रहा है आपे ज़म-ज़म पींदे रहे हैं जिन्होंने पिया है जरा हाथ उठा के और जो नहीं गए अल्लाह ताला इस महफिल के सदके बार बार पिलाए सब बोले हाँ आपे ज़म-ज़म पींदे रहे हैं सुख नाल ओथे जींदे रहे हैं आपे ज़म-ज़म पींदे रहे हैं सुख नाल ओथे जींदे रहे हैं आपे ज़म-ज़म पींदे रहे हैं सुख नाल ओथे जींदे रहे हैं तेरे दर दी चौकट दे असी ते सग सदींदे रहे हैं तेरे दर दी चौखट दे असी ते सग सदींदे रहे हैं मंगिया मुरादां जो भी मंगिया मुरादां जो भी झोली मेरी पै गईयां आका मेरियां अखियां मदीने विच रह गईयां आका मेरियां अखियां मदीने विच रह गईयां आका मेरियां अखियां मदीने विच रह गईयां आका मेरियां अखियां मदीने विच रह गईयां आपे ज़म-ज़म पींदे रहे हैं सुख नाल ओथे जींदे रहे हैं तेरे दर दी चौखट दे असी ते सग सदींदे रहे हैं तेरे दर दी चौखट दे असी ते सग सदींदे रहे हैं तेरे दर दी चौखट दे असी ते सग सदींदे रहे हैं तेरे दर दी चौखट दे असी ते सग सदींदे रहे हैं असी ते सग सदींदे रहे हैं असी ते सग सदींदे रहे हैं तेरे दर दी चौखट दे असी ते सग सदींदे रहे हैं मंगिया मुरादां जो भी मंगिया
Yeah, assalamu alaikum people. Welcome back. You're listening to Salaam BCR with me and Wadal Haq, and now we have what time is it now? 7:42 here in the studio, and I hope you're still tuned in. I can see one or two people tuned in on the YouTube, but I don't know. I can't tell. And when I look at the figures on the internet, then I know how many people have been listening. But I really do appreciate your support. I do. I appreciate. We all do here in the at the Project 29 and here in studio. You know, your calls have been very well appreciated and your thoughts. And we you know, this is what it's about, having a platform where you can say comfortably, you know, comfortably have your share your views. And if you're bothered about something, then this is the way to do it. You know, in an open platform, you can ring in on 01612219872 or on WhatsApp 0799026444. That is where it happens every Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And you know, I must say, if you get annoyed and fed up with my sending my WhatsApp messages, you know, all I say is please don't be offended. It's my duty. I'm duty bound, because there's no point me just doing a program if there's nobody knows about it, you know. And inshallah, once we get, you know, all the following and all the people listening in, whatever, then I won't barge you with all those messages. But whilst I do it, what I daily request is that you pass them on to your contacts. You know, hopefully this is how we'll grow our family. This is how we will grow our family, because this is what it's about. It's about a family, you know. And we are, you know, and I'm not saying just Pakistanis or British or Muslims. No. Look, we are the children of Hazrat Adam alayhi salam, number one. And then Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam after that. And then after that, Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam. You see? So wherever we go, doesn't matter which line you follow, we are brothers and sisters in humanity. And the Nabi Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, you know, you cannot be a true mu'min if you do not want for your brother what you want for yourself. And if we want the best for ourselves, we want the best in this dunya and we want the best in the akhirah. So for that reason alone, you know, I implore you, I beg you. You know, I'm on my hands and knees. You can't see it on the video there because I'm sitting in my chair, but promise you, Brother Maqsood is laughing now. And so, Brother Mazhar, you know, I'm sorry, he's such a pretty boy, you know, and we haven't got a camera on him, you know, and it's killing me, you know, because people be thinking he hasn't put a camera on him because he's better looking than him. No, he's not. He can't be better looking than me because I'm 64, you know, and 65 next month. And when he gets to 64... And when he gets to 60,
32.
In my heart I am, you know, in my head I am, you know, Brother Maqsood. You know,
good hair. I'm going wide, but you've got very good hair.
Well, alhamdulillah, genes. You know, it's all in the genes, you know, and not the jeans that you wear around your ankles. No, around your waist, I mean, you know. You drop them down, you know. Allah. Allahu Akbar, you know. But anyway, as I said, you know, we aim to serve the community, and you know, it doesn't matter who it is, you know, people living, and you know, I have to actually you know, explain to people and clarify when I say community. You know, the thing that I'm talking about my ethnic community. I'm not. I swear I'm not. My community is the people that I live with, people around me. You know, it doesn't matter who they are, because if they are well, I'm well. And if I'm not well, then they're not well. That should be the feeling altogether. Enough of the rant and enough of the lecture. Let's get back to where we were with Brother Maqsood. Brother Maqsood, so now, you know, I want to come back to this situation of Black Lives Matter. How come it's all of a sudden now the thing? You know, it wasn't... People are still getting killed. Black people, Asian people are still getting killed, but more black people, you know... and look at the injustices that they are having to suffer around the world. You know, what is it that's really sparked about or awakened this consciousness?
I think we have, in a point of time, we always have incidents that actually jogs the consciousness of people in communities. So whenever we have incidents like you know, we had the Macpherson inquiry was one of them. Remember in those days in the 1990s, that was a consciousness. That was an incident, a benchmark, awakening of the institutional issues and institutional racism. And then Black Lives Matter. You know, the issues about racism have always been there in America. They never go away. See what I'm saying? It just certain things have to happen before they get highlighted. And the Black Lives Matter and the brutality of killing off the black African American, obviously it was on TV, it was on social media, and that's what drives that agenda. Then you see, in a sense, on it. But black lives always matter. But
people are still getting killed, though.
People continue to get killed until the decision makers and the structures of those institutions change and whereby. See, you can change. You can change and say, yes, we're all good people, but if the structures of organizations remain the same, then the impact is going to be the same. That's why we talk about structural racism, and we talk about indirect racism, and we talk about unconscious bias. All these things actually build up a structure. If you have a structure that's actually hostile and racist, then these things will